Welcome to the Ref Show again. It's wide-ranging. We even go north of the border today, and it takes a very good reason to take us anywhere near a Celtic match, doesn't it? Messrs Turner and McGuinness, our guests on the Ref Show this week. But we have a special reason for doing that. Lots of championship interest as well, and a follow-up exclusive to You Are the Ref about that bizarre penalty incident at Newcastle. People say there's no accountability for match officials. Well, we'll show you that there certainly is. Let's start right at the top, though, with the Premier League and the big Sunday game between Manchester United and Chelsea. Chelsea, the title favourites, lose by 2-0. Our preoccupation is how they lost, and in particular, the first goal. Bobby Madley is the referee.
Yeah. I mean, a difficult game to officiate always. I've been fortunate enough to do it a few times, and it's a difficult game, but I'm not sure that Bobby helped himself on occasions during yesterday's game. The first goal for me is a clear handball by Herrera. There's enough distance between him and the pass. I think he made his mind up he was going to control that with his hands, so that one shouldn't have stood. Well, I can ride with that. It's some of the other things that Bobby let go. That I think he didn't help himself on the day.
Paul, I think we're all clear on the handball. It was at one end and the goal came at the other, and there is an argument historically, how far do you go back? But clearly that did have an effect on what happened. The other was a challenge from Gary Cahill. It was a yellow card from the referee. What did you think?
Well, it could very much have been a red. It studs up straight into around his hip or his waist area. It's very high. I think in lots of games that would be a red card, definitely, yeah.
Well, to quote RefCam's coverage of it from Dean Maharib, it was a challenge at speed, straight leg off the ground, endangering the safety of an opponent.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. And unfortunately, it's a bit of a theme that's run through most of the season for me with some of the select group referees on their lack of foul recognition, really.
Yeah.
That's a red. That's a red card.
Other than that, Bobby Madley thrust into the pressure cooker of this game, which he'd have wanted. I mean, undoubtedly the big game of the weekend.
We all want them.
He's been in great form. We've here at Euro Left been pushing for him. And then you had Mark Clattenburg returning. They seem to have remembered that he's still available, not gone to Saudi Arabia yet. Good to see him back in Everton 3, Burnley 1. Argument, should he have been refereeing at Old Trafford?
No, not for me. Clatts is and will be, at least until the end of the season, our best referee. But they've got to prepare for Clatts no longer being here at the end of the season, and it's no good keep giving him every single big encounter that takes place, because when he's gone, somebody else has got to pick them up. Yeah. So they've got to blood up and coming new referees. I get that. Just unfortunate on the day didn't go as well as Bobby would have hoped it did.
Similar to a manager bringing a player through, as you've done many times in the youth system at Manchester United. Where do you stand on that?
Well, I can see the point, but I think if you're the coaches, the managers, you say, well, we want the best man in charge, and Conte might be saying that, but also Mourinho. I think it's a really interesting point from a manager or coach's point of view. That game, it's a big game, and what you do is you prepare for it. You've got a good idea of the players coming up, and you go to bed dreaming about it. What could happen the next day? How am I going to play this? What am I going to do? I'm going to have a strategy. And really, the referee's biggest opponent in that game is Costa and Rojo. That duel is the biggest opponent he's got, and I'd want to stamp that authority on it right from the start. And in that way, any little thing, I'd be trying to stop. I mean, there's lots of simulation going on there, and then it kills the game, because now you've got to have the physio on. They're not really injured. They both play acting. All sorts of things going on, and that's all show. And there are lots of little signs of dissent. If you crack them early on, I think you can set the tone for the rest of the game. I know it's difficult. But if you don't, then you're always letting lots of niggly little things go after that, which break things up and stop your control.
It's a fine line, but he'll know next time, Glenn.
Yes, he will. Yeah, unfortunately, yesterday's happened, and that's going to live with him for a while. I'm afraid. You're absolutely right. The thing about Costa, and I think Bobby. He'll reflect with a bit of regret, really, on the way that he cautioned Costa.
Right.
That was an opportunity for him to really stamp his authority, not only on the game, but on Costa individually, and say, I'm in charge. He showed it to his back, Hey, turn round, look at me.
Yeah. Oh, big lessons there, but hopefully it won't set him back too far.
No, hopefully not. No, he's a good referee. He's had a good season, Bobby Madley. Yeah, it was a good
Inevitably, Clattenburg had a good game at Goodison Park.
Yeah.
And the young pretender to his crown, I suppose, is another one anyway, is Michael Oliver. Spurs 4, Bournemouth 0. Ref Cam Blog, easy afternoon, low profile performance.
Yeah,
this is what you want, it was easy.
That gets to me a bit, really. That was an easy afternoon. There is not an easy game at any level, let alone at the Premier League, and all the added pressures that brings. That's not an easy game.
If it's easy, it can be, Paul, because the referees made it easy.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the point I'm making. If you plan ahead, I don't know, as a player and a coach, you'd be planning, running those situations through in your head, and I think that's what you try to do. I don't know, going back to the Costa one, I don't know, if I was a referee, I don't know if this happens, but you'd always want to go in the dressing room beforehand and say, well, look, you two, this is how it's going to be today. I don't know if that's actually happens, but it's almost like you'd want to be telling the captains before, and we're not having any of this in this game, and that's the tone we're going to set.
That would be
I don't know how that works.
That would be prejudging. Would that be dangerous?
Yeah.
I don't know, yes, I suppose so, but in your head, that's what you are doing, aren't you?
Where it doesn't happen is in the dressing room before and with the player or players that you think may well get involved. Where it does happen is when we meet up in the hotels 4 hours before kickoff.
Sure, yeah,
that's when we're saying, now then we've got a couple of characters today who might cause us a few problems. We just need to keep a special eye on them. Don't go out hunting for them, but we need to be aware that they might cause us a few problems.
How important is it, though, taking Paul's point, that those particular players are aware that you're aware?
Yes, and that's where
the point he was making.
That's where the ref does his work off the ball, though. As you're jogging past Costa, hey, it's going well today. Keep it going. That's a good level. Don't let it get any worse. Or if he does step out of line, hey, are we, and you have to do him.
I'm watching.
Are we back on? Are we back on speaking terms, you and me yet? Are we all right again? Are you trying to manage the game, manage the player?
Yeah. I'll tell you something that stood out for me over the weekend. Obviously, the Monday night game still to go, but 9 games completed Saturday and Sunday, was the astonishingly low card count. Across 9 games in the Premier League, only 21 yellow cards. That's apart from the double caution that saw West Ham's Sam Byron sent off. You take that out of the equation, you've only got just over 2 yellows per game. That's... that's the ideal in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, no. Every referee wants to start and finish a game with 22 players on the field of play. Let's get that one out of the way. Nobody goes out there, as I said earlier, hunting for anybody. And it's fine having such a low... In fact, it's better than fine. It's great having such a low card count, but not at the expense of game management and game control. And going back to the Manchester-Chelsea game, I think Bobby lost some of the control because he didn't stamp enough authority on the game at times. A
card or two would not have been misplaced at that point. Okay, so the sending off was at Sunderland. That was Andre Mariner's game. That was a 2-2 draw, Sunderland-West Ham. It was standard, I think. It was 2 yellows. And finally, in this section, there's a couple of referees probably been more criticised than most. Not because of any victimisation, but because of their own performances. And you guys call it as you see it. One of those two is Lee Mason. This was Watford 1, Swansea 0, a relegation battle. Now, he emerged with a clean sheet.
Yes.
No cards whatsoever.
Yeah.
How did you think he did?
Very well. But I'll tell you who did even better. Ian Hussin on the line. What a fabulous call by the assistant there for offside. Excellent call, Ian Hussin. But well done, Lee Mason. Whilst we're on the subject of praising referees, can we, for the second ref show running, congratulate Jon Moss on a fabulous game again. Well refereed, Jon Moss.
Do you think this is a turning point for him? We were talking here about West Brom 0, Liverpool 1, a not inconsiderable game, a big game indeed.
Huge game,
with potential. The way West Brom play and Sonny Pulis's approach as a manager, there was potential there for that too.
I think John... Watching him again yesterday closely, I think he's stopped overcomplicating and overthinking decisions. He's gone back to refereeing what's in front of him instead of trying to give the clever decision. He just gives what happens, and he's refereeing very well.
Long may this continue. And the show will. Glenn, Paul, rejoin us for part 2. Lots in that. See you then.
You see, with soccer, everyone's the expert.
But always remember, there's only one ref.
And they don't get to become the real expert without advice from people who've seen it done it,
and got the T-shirt.
From Little League
to the Premier League. From the Cowfield
to Anfield.
Soccer referees need to be at their best.
And that's what You Are The Ref is about.
Take a look at our website for exclusive content from our team of highly experienced former match officials.
Don't be an armchair expert. Join up today at youaretheref.com.